So, different angle today. I may stick with this one. Move the light. It might be easier. Now, question is, should you invest in real estate now? Check the time. And this is a question I get all the time. And what I think people try to do, is they try to time the market. And they sort of think, well, if the market's too high, I shouldn't invest now because the market's going to go down. If the market's too low, I shouldn't invest now because it's going to be too hard to find deals. Here's the truth. The answer to the question is yes, right? The question on anything important is when the best time to do it was always 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. All right, plant a tree, start something long. You got to do it. You cannot time the market. The most successful people I know rode the wave up in 2005 and 6, rode the wave down in 7, 8, and 9, and are still around. Now, to be honest, some of them got screwed. Some of them went bankrupt, but they're still doing it. And the market is not something that anybody understands. I don't understand it, right? I thought maybe 4 or 5 years ago that the market was due to go down, right? We had been 10 years in an upcycle. Now we're even longer in an upcycle, and the market's still going up. So here's how I view what I do, right? So by the way, I don't even do an intro, right? This is the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses, or if you haven't done it, how to grow your business. Now, what I do is I buy properties, I lock up properties at a discount, okay? I can always do that, right? Obviously, I want to do it more, but I believe that I can always do that using systems in place, right? It's using systems that I use, right? I get lists of people that are likely to sell, I skip trace them, and then I market to them, right? My marketing channels are mail. What else? Cold calling, texting, ringless voicemail. I'm actually trying radio now. We're going to try it. I've done other digital marketing like pay-per-click, SEO, those things. So, but I believe personally that you can do that all the time. Now, the question that comes into people's minds is what's going to happen if the market goes down? You're going to get screwed holding this property that you thought was going to be worth X, and now it's worth less than X. There's always enough of a cushion when I do something that I believe that I have a minimal risk, even if the market shifts. So some of the things I do to sort of minimize that risk is I don't go into very long-term projects, right? I had an opportunity to buy something recently for like $1 million that I think could have been worth over $2 million and maybe only needed $400,000 or $500,000 worth of work. But the permitting process takes so long in my area in Long Island, and this would have been a huge project. It wasn't slam dunk. There were issues in the project that I thought may or may not be able to be resolved, and I didn't want to get it. It's basically a 2-year project, right? It'll take almost a year to get everything approved, and then it would take 6 to 9 months to do the work, best case scenario, and then I'd have to sell it. And the truth is that when you're dealing with $2-3 million properties, those usually don't fly off the market like properties that are going for $300,000-$400,000. So I'd have to even give it more time. Right? It could have been more than 2 years, and I don't know where the market's going to be in 2 years, and nobody knows where the market's going to be in 2 years. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to shorten my sales cycle from when I buy something and when I sell something. That I am doing, but I've never bought something thinking, crap, if the market shifts on me, I'm in trouble. And I believe firmly that when the market shifts, I'm going to be able to buy a lot more houses. So, I mean, and really, if you're doing this consistently, and really consistency is the key, and you're somebody who can persevere through the down points, things are going to happen. So one thing that's happening now that I never anticipated is that I'm buying a lot of occupied properties, right? There's an eviction moratorium that's really crushing the landlords in this country. People are crying. It's a horrible, horrible thing that the government thinks is doing good. It's not doing good. It's something that feels good, but it doesn't do any good, which is typical of the government. And it's also causing prices to go up, right? It's actually hurting. I believe that the eviction and foreclosure moratorium is actually hurting more people than it's helping. It's my opinion, because it's reducing the supply significantly, right? A lot of people that would, let's say, have sold their house because of foreclosure or moved out of their house because of they're not paying rent, and landlords who can't sell a house or feel that they can't sell a house because they have a tenant in there and they can't even show the house. those people are getting hurt much more. And the average person buying a house now, is the supply is being reduced. It's an artificially reduced supply. And what's happening is that prices are going up. So the average person who wants to buy a house is paying more for a house. It's absurd, right? And the idea is we're going to save all those people hurt by the pandemic. But the truth is, at this point, honest to God, really, how many people can't pay the rent because of the pandemic? I mean, the economy is doing fine, even though inflation's killing us. And these are all related to stupid government programs that feel good as you enact them, but don't actually do good. They do crap. So I'm getting a lot of calls, or I'm actually reaching out to realtors and other people, and I'm getting properties that have uncooperative tenants, or it could be that they're paying rent, they just can't leave, or that they're not paying rent. And obviously, I have to buy that at a significant discount because I have to deal with a tenant that becomes my problem. I may have to pay them. I may have to just wait until the eviction moratorium ends and go through the the eviction process, which I believe is going to take a very long time. Right? The courts haven't seen a lot of cases in 15, 16 months, and they're going to be inundated with cases. And I'm counting on, minimum of a year. But I'm willing to offer money. I always try to offer money to tenants first. So this is something I never foresaw. But I'm taking advantage of it. And I think when you get into the business and you're consistent in the business for a while, you take advantage of what comes. I believe at some point, it might be in 5 months, it might be in 5 years, the market's going to go down. And the media is going to get a hold of it probably a year later than it happens. And the media is going to start telling people real estate market's in free fall, right? Going down. And when people hear that, they are much more likely to sell their property. So to be honest, I'm almost looking forward to that. And I think if you were someone who has good systems in place and who has a good handle on their business, you don't think about where the market's going. You don't. Now, on some level, you might. Now, on the other side of this, I'm wholesaling deals, and I'm getting more money for them than I ever imagined, right? I just got somebody who's signing an assignment yesterday. It's going to be like a $70,000 deal, and I thought it would be like a $30,000 deal. So a lot of people, other rehabbers, are projecting that the market's going to continue to go up, and some of them are buying my deals based on that. And that's great. And it's all great, right? And I hope that guy makes money. I hope everybody who buys a deal from me makes a ton of money, right? Maybe he'll make a little less than he expects, but he'll make money for sure, unless he screws up the whole rehab. But my point is, you should never time the market, never imagine time the market, right? When the question in the title is, should you invest in real estate now? I look at it as how I invest in real estate, okay? Which is short-term, buy properties at a discount, 1 to 4 families, either wholesale them, which means I do little to no work and put them on the market, or do rehab them, right? I do rehab properties when I have to. But I don't want very long rehabs that require a tremendous amount of permitting in certain jurisdictions in my area where it takes forever to get a permit. I'm waiting for a permit right now we're in August, middle August, and I ordered a permit. I applied for the permit and paid for it in November. Permitting is a problem because and I'll tell you why. Again, it's a government problem. The municipalities are not allowing a lot of people to come and see them, and they're just not working, right? A lot of them are just not doing their jobs because there is no real accountability, right? You have to order it online, call them back, can't get anybody on the phone. That's the kind of crap that goes on. So government, of course, is usually a problem, right? Government is not good at solving problems. They're really good at creating problems. So should you invest in real estate now? Absolutely, right? But you have to do it right? So the idea that I'm going to buy and hold. So people come to me and go, I want to be a buy and hold investor. Someone came into my office. I'm going to buy this property. It's worth $450. I'm going to buy it for $430. I go, that's a huge mistake. Now, why is that a huge mistake? Because you'll never get your money out of that. You have to buy it at a significant discount. I'm talking about 20, 30, 40% below what it's worth so you can get that money out and do it again. If you want to just hold one property, she told me the cash flow number should be cash flow positive $200. That's not a good deal. I know you might be watching Bigger Pockets and the Burr method, and if I'm $100 positive, I'm good. And I know guys who buy tons of rentals and say if they're cash flow positive, they're good. I don't agree with that, right? I've owned rentals, right? I do own rentals. I've owned rentals. If you're not cash flow positive significantly, you're just one repair or capital improvement away from being cash flow negative. That's not what we're talking about now. But the answer, should you invest in real estate on a short-term basis the way that I do? Absolutely do it today. Start marketing. For the first 4 years I was in business, I did not market at all. Right? I bought all my properties in live auction, online auction, from REO, which means real estate owned or bank owned property realtors. I wish I had marketed 4 years earlier. I'd have a much bigger pipeline now. I'd be doing more deals now. Right? A lot of these deals come through over time. So the answer is absolutely 1000% yes if you're doing it on a short-term basis. But you got to be careful, and you have to not buy a bad deal, right? People are talking now about the 1031 exchange going away. Guess what? I always thought it was a stupid, stupid program. Now, I know people have saved millions and billions of dollars on taxes, but what I've seen from 1031 exchange people is that they end up buying stupid properties. Just because you have to locate a property in a certain amount of time, you have to close on it, and people have just bought properties, shit properties, lost tons of money instead of just paying the capital gains tax. I don't care if 1031 exchange goes away. It doesn't affect me at all. I never thought it was a good program. I think it's nice to do it, but I think paying capital gains tax is probably a better idea in a lot of situations. Buying a bad deal to save on taxes is a stupid idea, always. That's it. So those are my thoughts. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in other ways that can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my course that teaches how to do this, which I'm probably going to completely redo shortly, and anybody who buys the course will get the new one too, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in my one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click thumbs up, like my videos. And please keep comments coming. Comments help me. I go live 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, what I'm supposed to say. So keep the comments coming. If it's an easy answer, there are no bad comments. I'll reply with an answer. If it's something I covered recently or in depth, I'll send you links to the videos. And if it's something I haven't covered, I'll do a video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.